Sorry, I was expecting countdown. Hello, I'm rythin. This is KO3. We're just gonna get started right away. So in 3, 2, 1, go. So, hi. This is KO3, the third and probably the least known installment in the series. Yeah, so some people might know about the first game. Most people, if you know about KO, you probably know about KO2. This game came out like 2 years afterwards, I think. And it had a pretty sad story of its funding being cut because populars were, or platformers weren't as popular anymore. They were sort of getting out famed, I guess, by shooter games, so the game wasn't able to be properly finished due to cut funding, so it's sort of ends a little abruptly, but I think it's still a cool game that has a bunch of stuff going for it, and that's why I run it. So we're playing in Hungarian, as you may or may not have noticed. That is because it's the fastest language. The dialogues are the fastest. It's also extremely funny because the quality of the dubbing is horrible. It sounds like it was recorded on a laptop microphone, which, yeah, very fun. So yeah, two upsides to that. It's one of the few actual full dubbings of this game. There were not as many as there were of KO2. It's also glitched in that for some reason it doesn't have subtitles, so you're missing out on all the Hungarian subtitles that everyone in chat would be able to read, I'm sure. But yeah, we're coming up on the end of the first level, and coming up is a great line of dialogue, so I'll shut up for a second. There we go. That is all I wanted to show off. But yeah, now that we're out of the first auto-scroller bit, we're going to get onto the actual platforming. So the game is sort of open in the sense that it has a hub with levels, but you're still meant to do them in a linear order. And I'm not gonna do that. Instead, I'm just gonna jump out of bounds here and hit the loading trigger for Gardens of Life early. So the way the early game is structured is you're supposed to talk to a shaman who's just standing there near the entrance to the volcano, and he's gonna tell you oh no, the pelican who you were flying with in the first level fell into the volcano, we need to save him. And so to do that you need to collect 4 artifacts to open the gate to the volcano and then go in, save the pelican. Good story. But before I do that, you'd normally have to talk to the pelican, go through a tutorial, all that boring stuff just to unlock this level. But this game features a pretty nice system that tracks your progress. It's basically like a counter that increments on specific events. So, for example, on talking to the shaman, on talking to the shaman, it increments once, and that way the game knows that, oh, you've talked to the shaman, now you can enter the tutorial, so it opens up the tutorial door. And then afterwards, after you collect the first artifact, it advances to the next stage, and it's like, okay, so you've collected the artifact, this door is open, you can now do this level. But by skipping the first talk to the shaman, I'm actually just going to collect the artifact right away, and it's just going to jump to progress level 2 and unlock the tutorial for me right away, which is important because you may have noticed I am collecting a bunch of these green orbs. These are called the forest spirits, or if the official translation is to be believed, they're called brownies of the wood. And for every artifact that you want to insert into the gate, you need 200 of these to actually, put it in. So I'm gonna be collecting a bunch of them, and that's why I need to go to the tutorial to collect a bunch of them, because otherwise the routing doesn't really work out. So coming up is the first artifact. It is locked behind a puzzle, a tile puzzle. You can see it on the left here. I'm just going to clean up a couple of these spirits before I start it. There we go. So the puzzle here is consistent in the tile placement, but not in the tile rotation. So I know how to do this. I just need to do a tiny bit of reacting. So yeah, I'm gonna solve this puzzle. If you have a really quick donation, now is a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. We have $10 from 11 Natrium, who says, "Hi, rythin. Your favorite Go Natri here, watching you along with the others from the KO Speedrunners Discord. Really happy to watch you live running this hidden gem and wish you the best of luck. Hopefully we can get to that VR race incentive." So thank you so much. And a reminder that if you want to see that VR race, get those donations in. We have basically the duration of this run to get that done, and we still need a little bit less than $500.
Thank you, Nature. What a great person. Everyone who donates is great. Be great. Donate to the cause. So this is the first artifact. So now we have officially made progress, and the tutorial door is open. I'm going to fly over here with some dynamite, because dynamite, of course, lets you fly, which will be more relevant later, but for now we're just doing a little bit of that good old dynamite flying. And yeah, we're coming up on the end of the first level. I'm just going through this section to collect some extra spirits, and then we'll do a save and quit. So the nice thing about this game is saving and then loading the save always puts you at the beginning of the level. So we're gonna just do that to go straight to the start, because the levels are like a loop. So the same way you enter, you also leave, like so. And you may notice I have 14 dynamite now, and as I enter the hub again, I'll have 0. This is a thing that is supposed to happen. The game is supposed to reset your dynamite on level transitions, because otherwise it can break some of the early game of some levels. But don't worry about it. We have some ways to go around that. But yeah, now I'm doing the tutorial, which is also a little broken. We can just jump over here on this flower and then on this fruit. And now we are at the end of the tutorial, and we're actually gonna do it backwards, because it is faster than doing it normally. And I guess coming up here, what I'm about to do isn't exactly optimal, but people seem to enjoy it, so there you go. More of this animation.
It's just prehensile ears. That's probably the most confusing thing for me in this run.
Have you never gone on a web like that with your ears? You're missing out.
I mean, I should give it a try next time I come across a overhang that has some webs on it.
Yep, absolutely. Alright, so now we're done with the tutorial. And normally what you would do now is hand in the artifact to the shaman, and that would unlock the virtual race. That is the incentive for the after run. But I'm actually not gonna do that. We're gonna come over here and roll up this slope, and then do a roll cancel out of the slope, or out of the roll, which is a 4-frame input. You have 4 frames in a 60 FPS game to do that. And that lets us access the Wuthering Heights early. Which is good, because we don't have to do the virtual race. But it also means we're skipping one of the only power-up in the game, the hang glider. Which is supposed to be required for like the rest of the game. So that's cool. You also notice...
I love how you say supposed to be.
Yeah, of course. Everything is a suggestion in KO. Don't worry about it. You may have also noticed that I blew up the door with a dynamite. So, as it turns out, saving the game in one area and then going to another actually saves the amount of dynamite you had. So the game, instead of resetting it to 0, it resets to that amount that you saved with. So normally you're supposed to use an explosive barrel to open that door, but instead I just use a stick of dynamite because it's infinitely faster. And now we are onto a little bit of a stealth section where we're supposed to get into a box and stealth around these guys. But I can just roll. So yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna roll. And this cutscene here is very cool because KO cannot move during it, but the enemies can. So they can just sort of gang up on you and hit you if you're unlucky. But that didn't happen, so that's good. Alright. And now coming up is some of the, I guess the major part where you're supposed to require the hang glider. I'm actually gonna take this checkpoint. I usually don't, but it's kind of easy to mess up, and I would rather not. So, you get that adorable checkpoint animation.
So cute.
It's really surprising how there's so few games, like platformer games about kangaroos. Like, their whole thing is jumping. You'd think there'd be more of those. But no. Of course there isn't. There's only KO. The only good one. So now we're out of bounds slightly. It's not like too major, but we're gonna get on this route and hopefully jump out. Good. And get on here. We're gonna bait out an attack from the volcano dude below. Bounce on over here. So you can see that airstream over there. You're supposed to ride those with the hang glider to like gain height and stuff. But I mean, who has time for that? Just gonna chuck some dynamite and be on our way. So here is the artifact. We have to enter.
All right. Technical difficulty strike again. Definitely apologize for this. We're working to get it back up and running as soon as possible. While we are working on that, I do want to mention that we got a $100 donation from Trojan Dude who says, "Hey, GDQ, hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. Great job with the marathon so far. I'm putting this donation towards the Ori DE Co-op Rando Run incentive that my wife Cutieroo and our friend Smashy are running together. So incredibly excited for that. Also, who doesn't want to see adorable stuffed animals? So thank you so much for that $100 donation. And that is indeed another incentive we are trying to meet today. So that is a $4,000 total. This donation puts us past 500 for that, I believe. And we are still working to get that KO the Kangaroo incentive met. So if you want to see that VR race done in under 5 seconds, still need about 500 to go for that. Uh, get those donations in. Also, a great time to mention some of those prizes again. We have a lot of prizes up today. A $25 minimum donation will get you a shot at that Snorlax beanbag chair. If you watched the little prize demo we had earlier with Scent, it is super adorable, looks super comfortable, and I know I want one myself. And that would get you a quarter of the way towards a chance for the grand prize, that Alexandrite Triforce, since that is $100 in cumulative donations throughout the marathon. And we have a $25 anonymous donation, $25 donation with no comment from Paul Bo Brookins. Thank you so much for your donation. We have $25 donated by Travis, who says, "Good luck to all the runners. I'm looking forward to that McDonald's run." I definitely am too. That's going to be a fantastic run by a fantastic runner. You don't want to miss that. And while I have mentioned both of the VR race from KO and the stuffed animal cam from Ori, I would be remiss not to mention that King's Quest 6 also has an incentive coming up soon uh, to sing Girl in the Tower. If it is met, Jackie Joe will sing the credits song Girl in the Tower following the King Quest 6 run. That is currently sitting at about $1,150 out of 2,500, so a little shy of halfway to go, but I know that we can do it. Get those donations in. And while we are waiting, if you missed the first couple times I mentioned it, the Yeti is donating $5 per Fleet Fatale shirt sold directly to the to Malala Fund. You can find the shirts at theyeti.com. And if you're not familiar with the Yeti, uh, they have collectively donated over $1 million to GDQ charities throughout the years. So we are very thankful for them working with us again for this event. And Bruce donates $25. No comment, but that is perfectly fine. Thank you so much for your generous donation and good luck on winning the Snorlax beanbag chair. And to maybe sweeten the pot for some more donations towards these incentives, if you see on the screen, there have been prizes scrolling by. Um, some of these are just actually all of these are super awesome, and I know that I would love to have them. Aside from that Snorlax beanbag chair that I keep mentioning, one of my favorites is that beautiful Pallet Town mouse pad that has been kindly donated by Studio Pen Pen. That is available. A chance of that is available for a $10 minimum donation. And Orion Zal, I'm not sure. I apologize. Hopefully, one of those two is right. Donated $20. Thank you so much. Uh, Definitely appreciate that personally, and I'm sure we all appreciate it, as does Malala Fund. And right on cue, Pokemon Lover donates $10. So best of luck for that Pallet Town mousepad, which with a name like that is my only assumption for what you're going for there, aside from helping out a wonderful charity. All right. And while we work through these technical difficulties, we didn't want to leave y'all waiting for too long. So we have brought you a little bit of a treat. We have Air Angel going to be running by Sojo Senshi Sailor Moon R for the Game Boy. Fantastic, fantastic run. Hope you're looking forward to fighting Evil by Moonlight. Uh, so, yeah, they are still setting that up. But while we wait and I continue this very long run on sentence, I want to mention that we have a $50 donation from Zamiel the Hunter. So thank you so much. So much. And if you aren't familiar with Malala Fund or what they do, Malala Fund is working for a world where all girls can learn and lead. Malala Fund advocates for resources and policy changes needed to give all girls a secondary education, invest in local education leaders, and amplifies the voices of girls fighting for change. And if you missed the Castlevania Order of Ecclesia run and are worried that maybe you missed a chance at that Castlevania a la carte print, I have good news for you. That is going to be available for a $10 minimum donation through Pokemon Black and White Any Percent, which will be the closing run for tonight. So if you're a huge Castlevania fan, you still have a chance to get a donation in to get a chance at that. So and we have a $5 donation from MK who says, loving the progress on this. Could we get a $5 train going and aim for $17,500? I mean, I think we can make it happen. We are less than $250 from 17,500. So let's see if we can make that happen maybe. And if you're interested in donating and maybe contributing to that $5 train, uh, we do still have those incentives open. The Singing the Girl in the Tower in King's Quest 6, the Stuffed Animal Cam for Ori and the Blind Forest, and the virtual race speedrun for KO the Kangaroo. Uh, Hopefully, we can get Rythin back for that one. And we have $100 from Suboptimal who says, I don't know the game, but I'm always down for making people sing. Thank you so much for the $100 donation. And I too am always down for making people sing. Let's make it happen. And if you are enjoying Fleet Fatales or you enjoy any of the other hotfix events or shows that we have on this channel, I would like to just mention that Fleet Fatales and other hotfix events and shows are brought to you by viewers like you. Your subscriptions and bits help keep the channel running for these fun events, including shows like Fleet Fatales, Random Number Generation, Time Capsule, Mercy Kill, Tina's RPG show, I guess, and more. We have $5 from Prometheus who says, I'm singing in the train, singing in the train. That's the correct lyrics, right? Thank you for that $5. And thank you for effectively making me sing because I could not let that opportunity pass me by. All right. And we are ready